Oh, we're live, guys.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hangoutlander. We're back. Outlander's back. It's season 2, book 2. I don't know why they're calling book 2, but it's season 2 of Outlander. And we just saw the premiere this weekend. Everybody's seen it now, and we're happy to be back. This is That's Normal. And this is Hangoutlander. This is our recap show. We're really excited to be here. We're drinking. We're opening presents. We have a sponsor. We have special guests. We're so professional tonight, and we're so glad that you're here. So if you're watching with us, tweet with us at That's Normal and use the hashtag Hangoutlander, all one word together, so that you can talk to us. We're going to be asking you questions, and hopefully you can talk back to us. I'm Beth. I write for That's Normal, and I'm having Pinot Noir out of my grandmother's cup that my great Aunt Louise gave me. And it felt like the only thing French I had in the house. There you go. Woo! Everybody introduce yourselves and say hi.
Julie.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Julie. I also write for That's Normal. And I'm excited that Hangoutlander is back. I think I'm actually more excited that Hangoutlander is back than the actual season. But that's just me. And I'm drinking also Pinot Noir in not my grandmother's cup, but she would be happy for me anyway. R.I.P.
Oh.
Aww.
You just brought us down.
Oh, she was a great woman. Okay, well, I'm still bringing people down. Move on.
Laura.
Hi, guys. I am Laura from Hypable. You can find me on Twitter at New Yorker Laura. Happy to be back. I was going to be drinking this really cool martini tonight, and I was a moron and forgot to refrigerate my liquor. So since nobody wants to drink a lukewarm martini, I am instead plowing through my husband's scotch collection again, and I got him this for Christmas, and he's letting me borrow it. So Dalmore, it's called. We'll see how good it is.
Nice.
Yay. Nikki.
It's me, guys. Sorry, I was tweeting. Hi, I'm Nikki. I write/own That's Normal with Becca Decker. And I'm drinking La Croix, though I think they call it something else officially. But and then I poured some vodka in it, because I'm just like really super fancy tonight. I couldn't even put it in a cup. So
Did you really? You never do that. It's like a big night for you.
Poured it right on in. Well, I mean, it's our first night back. It's been like a year. Might as well celebrate. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock somewhere. The really exciting thing is tonight we have a sponsor for Hangoutlander, and so they sent us fun gifts, and so because of the mail, how it is, some of us have them and some of us don't. So the people who have them are on the West Coast. Hold those up. They say that this ominous "do not open." So we're gonna go ahead and open them on air.
Okay.
Butter knife. Let's let Kyle and Becca introduce themselves, and then we can open them.
I thought I was last. Sorry, guys.
And those of us who don't have a present are just going to drink, so that's fine.
Exactly. The entire time you're unboxing. Okay, Kyle, I'm very excited about what you're drinking tonight, so introduce yourself, please.
Okay, hey, I'm Kyle from Hypable.com with Laura, and tonight I am drinking, I'm going to screw this name up, Dewar's, dude. Dewar's. Scotch.
Oh, my little Scotch virgin, you.
Dewar's?
It's half my age, it's 12.
Mine too.
I've never had Scotch. And before we went live, they were like, you have to put water in it. So I was like, I put water in it.
All right, this is your first sip. Okay. Yeah, you're going to try it. Oh, boy. Ooh.
How's that Dewar's going down?
Friends do not let friends drink bad Scotch, but I told you.
Oh.
That was smooth.
Okay.
Yeah, that was nice. Glad that you have that water in there.
Yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate it. Okay, well, I'm still going to go at it during the show. So.
Yeah, you are.
Good, you are.
Hold your nose, it might go better.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Tip accepted.
And I am Becca. I am one of the co-owners of That's Normal. And I'm drinking white wine tonight. I was out with friends earlier, and I had a rosé and a red, and then I had white in the fridge. So this is, yes, my third drink of the night, and it's a big one. So let's get this party started.
It's sponsor time.
It's sponsor time.
Do I go with my butter
Oh,
knife?
wait. All right. Okay, back to sponsors. Open this shit, guys. Sorry, hope there's no children around here. Hangoutlander.
If I
This
cut
would've been
myself on air, I'll be ticked.
I don't even know how to open this.
It's a packing thing.
Julie bleeds to death with a giant paper cut.
Ow! I just stabbed myself in my keys.
Oh, God.
Careful.
Really? Are you
How much scotch did you have?
Okay.
Julie's
A
got
whole
them.
drink.
Yes, folks, we are this coordinated in real life.
Oh, Kyle's looking for a knife. And look, Julie found it. Julie's got it.
I have it too. Let's wait for the big reveal.
Oh, Julie's freaking out. Julie's just like,
Chill out.
Open that.
I don't know how to open boxes.
I have my manly friend helping me open this.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Thank you.
So this Hangoutlander's not sponsored by Meryl's Twitter.
No.
That's
You know
like-
what?
Kyle's like, there's food!
Whoa.
Food!
That was loud.
You got it.
So excited.
All
All right,
guys.
Big reveal. Hold it up, guys. Walkers.
Walker shortbread. Look at those guys.
Oh, that's
All right.
delicious.
Wait,
So-
there's even more on the back.
Look how cute they are.
Oh,
Aw, there's a little blurb back here.
hold on.
Now tell me that there's some Jamie Fraser shaped shortbread in there.
Okay,
I'm
I
gonna have
fixed it.
one. Let's do a taste test.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
fixed
do
it.
it. So we're excited because we've partnered with Walker's Shortbread for our very first Hangoutlander. They have graciously provided these for our California team, because apparently that's all the people they care about. Just kidding. They got lost in the mail for the rest of us. I think that'll be arriving tomorrow. And we will be doing a giveaway. We love to always do giveaways to benefit for you guys that are watching live. So whoever is just interacting with us tonight and we deem worthy of Walker's Shortbread at the end of the night, we will announce at the end of the Hangout who that winner is, and we will get you your very own box of Walker's Shortbread.
And then you can
So
fix
thank
it like
you.
I did.
And I was
Okay,
like,
fix it.
hilariously, because I didn't even know what you were unboxing, we have a giveaway going on Hypeable too. So if you don't get picked here,
There you
Yeah,
go.
do a
go
Hypeable giveaway.
hit up the giveaway on Hypeable. I'll tweet
Ooh,
it
a
out.
pizza shaped.
Are y'all
Yes.
giving away? Are y'all giving away Walker shortbread too?
Yeah, I didn't even know you guys.
Yay.
Yeah, I am. I got
That's
one.
funny. I didn't know that.
Hilarious, and I didn't even know that's what the sponsor was.
Wow,
This
they're just giving it
one-
away to everybody.
These are Outlander shape because this one is the shape of Jamie's hair in the rain. Oh, sad.
Oh, I want one so bad. I'm so jealous.
Can
I could
eat
just
these?
really go for a shortbread right now.
Let's guess
What's
what the
this one?
shortbreads are. Jamie's weave,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Claire's pot,
These are the other two.
Jenny's nursing boobs,
Oh my god.
Dougal's Dirk.
Dougal's Dirk.
Those are
Yeah.
the shapes that you get. It's like animal crackers.
All right, guys. So make sure you're tweeting at us because you too may win Walker's Shortbread. Outlander.
Hey, that's awesome.
There you go.
All
I'm
right.
jealous. I have nothing to snack
I know
on
we have
tonight.
nothing to snack on. We just have wine. Snack. Wah, wah.
All right, so let's get into this episode, you guys. Outlander is back. I want to hear what everybody, like, what is the position you're coming from? Some people are excited, some people are like, that was underwhelming. So we're going to give, like, our one-sentence summary of how we feel about Outlander being back. Mine is, Outlander is back, and like Claire, I'm back to a life I no longer wanted. Meaning, I love Outlander, like she loves Frank, but I'd rather be lazing around my house and not doing a million things every single day because Outlander's back. So,
She's just tired of being ripped apart on the internet
yeah,
already, and it's one episode.
And it's one episode in.
that's right.
I already got scars on my butt too from it. Yeah.
Right. I'll go. Just because I feel like it. I thought the episode was great, and it could have been 10 or 15 minutes shorter.
Ooh.
There's my
Potentially,
opinion. Potentially. No, 100%, not potentially. it just felt, we could talk about it. I was just like, oh, that was great. Oh, great episode. And then I was like, oh, there's more. Oh,
Yeah.
oh. And that's what it just felt like. That didn't need to happen right there. That could have shut that out 10 or 15 minutes, and I would have been, like, super happy. But because it was that extra 10 or 15 minutes, and I really had to pee, or, you know what? I was watching it as I was walking out the door to go to New York for the premiere, and I was like, I'm rushing out the door. So probably that didn't help either. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Like, get done.
Yeah, let's go. But it was great. It was great.
Mine
Kyle.
would be.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Laura.
Go ahead.
Laura,
All right.
no, Laura, go.
Okay. Mine would be that is how you do a season 2 opener. I loved it. I thought that was, you need to kick off with a bang, not have a second season slump, and that is how you do it. And I was on board. And
Okay.
loved starting in 1946.
Yeah.
Julie?
I think mine would be, so I take it this is about the future, because that word was referenced quite a bit. It's like, this is for the future, Jamie. The future. In a time that's the future. And I was like, okay, got it the first time.
Yeah.
Thanks, reiterating.
Nikki?
I was tweeting a picture of Walker Shortbread.
You have to explain why you're not paying attention every time.
It's because I have to turn my mic on. It takes me like 3
Oh.
seconds. I'm interacting with everyone online. Not paying attention. I loved the beginning, and then they started burning ships, and people were dying of smallpox or whatever it was, and I was done. I was also hadn't really been able to watch the episodes. I was live tweeting, so it was okay. I liked the beginning a whole lot, and I felt really bad for old Frank. I forgot his name for a second, Tobias, and then he turned into a monster.
Before we keep going with Kyle's sentence, Joanna Kuhn said, my one sentence is, I can only do this with alcohol.
Does she mean
Hangoutlander?
I'm going to assume she means the show, not Hangoutlander.
All right, Kyle, this is like what I'm most excited to hear. You, knowing nothing, reminder to all the audience, Kyle is not a book reader, so this is all new for him. What did you think?
Can I curse?
Yeah.
Okay. My sentence is more of a question. What the actual fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Well, we need to get into it. Like, what is that opening?
Well, yeah, let's talk about that, Kyle. What do you think? Because obviously we know where we're going. We know what's happening. Was this a total and utter shock to you? Yeah.
I was so lost. I remember turning it on, and I was gonna prepare and do other things while I was watching the beginning of the show, and I see her on the ground, and I'm like, wait a minute, and then I see her step onto a road, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And then she said she was pregnant, and I was like, you're still pregnant? How long did you spend in France? When did you get back? How did you get back? What? And then she finds out that they lost, and then I'm heartbroken.
Are you going to cry?
I can't do it. I can't do it. No.
Yeah, I love that. I love that we left Claire being pregnant, and then we find out she's pregnant, and we find out a couple things in that first conversation, and I'm sure there's a lot of questions from people who know nothing saying, what the fuck? How is she still pregnant? I think that's a very good question to ask.
Yeah.
How is she still pregnant?
Right. And good that you're asking that, because I think we've all talked about how sometimes they don't give the audience credit for being intelligent, and to me that's a really intelligent question, and sometimes they don't give enough credit to viewers, and you proved it. You've caught on immediately.
Yeah, and I think too, I tried to imagine what it would be like if I didn't know what was going on, and my assumption would be, because they showed the little preview right before, and they're on the boat, and she tells Jamie she's pregnant, and then she's home. My assumption would be that she can't go on ships without going back to her real time. I'd be like, oh, you go on the ocean, your time traveling's over.
That's a great assumption.
That would be what I would think.
Drowned at sea. Claire is drowned at sea.
Nikki?
I think it was also confusing because in all these trailers, we've seen her it looks like basketball stomach pregnant, and then she's in the hospital, and her profile's just had a lot of Mexican food. You're like, wait, are we going back and forth? What is happening?
And then I'm confused about like the timeline because like she said to Frank that she was with another man for 2 years, and I'm like, I don't like I can't even recall
remember
how
health
long
class.
she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what? So,
How long do babies gestate?
Right.
Yeah.
Is it different in the 18th century? Did they discover something new?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if you know what's going on, was it a smart way to really honestly open the episode? I love the fact that it mirrors the first episode. I like that at the end of it, she's stepping off a ship to a new land, and when she comes back to Jamie, she's stepping off a ship to a new land. So I mean, it makes sense. But is it really the best? Yeah, is it really the best way to start the episode or to start the whole season for people who have no idea what's going on, or is it too confusing?
Well, I don't think they care. I think that's fine to be confusing. I think for fans, it was a great solution because I think it is different than the book. So just that's not a spoiler.
I don't think it was too confusing. I think it was just confusing enough to make you go, what, and want to like stick through it. And now there's no way I'm not watching this season after that.
And I think that first half was so beautiful. So somebody asked me on Twitter, Tallulah NYC asked if I would, when I said it was too long, if I would cut the Frank or Jamie bits, which I believe you're asking me to choose between those two men. And
their bits?
Yeah, and their bits. I wouldn't, and this isn't because I'm too biased, I wouldn't have cut anything from Frank. I think his was good. And it wasn't Jamie's fault that I would have cut stuff from the end. I think I would have cut the small pot. It's just certain things, like Nikki said, standing around watching the show.
Yeah.
Some of that was just way too long.
I actually liked how it started on the show better than I liked how it started on the book. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. I actually preferred that opening. I thought it was more interesting, and I think with Frank's part, and the reason why I liked it so much more than I liked the second, or at least the last 20 minutes, can't even call it the second half because I mean it's the last 20 minutes. Yeah. I think it's because it just moves so quickly with Frank.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Julie. It had, I think, much more of a dramatic impact that way of us seeing it firsthand rather than hearing this sort of distant, slow burn, a little piece of it here, a little piece of it there, Claire narrative that's in the books, and just getting that bam right away and seeing it through your own eyes. That was incredibly effective.
Yeah. I think when you're reading, too, you have the opportunity to, like, wait to find out what's going to happen. When you're watching, that's not necessarily the way that you want to experience the story. So I'm glad that they did it that way, too.
Yeah. And there's no way they could have opened this first episode without showing Jamie at all. Like, that would have been Herbert. Like, I was almost wondering if they were going to.
So, okay, I was tweeting, and I was recording the moment where she stepped off the plane, or like she gave Frank her hand, and I was recording a video because I was like, no, don't do it, Claire. And then in the middle, like, that's when they showed Jamie, and so my reaction is just like, what? And I recorded it, and it's great. And I was like, oh my god.
Oh, you recorded your reaction?
I didn't mean to. I was just meant to be like, no, I hate you, Frank. I hate you. And then it turned into my reaction to Jamie.
Well, we need to talk about Frank then, because I've read now a couple of different reviews, and there's people, of course, that love Frank, like us, or like me. I love Frank, and it's not really a Tobias thing. I mean, we want to talk about Frank, but like, there's those that love him. There's book fans who hate that Ron Moore has expanded his character to the point that he has, and then there's some people who are pissed at him, the fact that he could, raise his fist to his wife and get that angry and hate him. So how do we feel about Frank after the opening?
I loved him. I think I've always had more sympathy for Frank than I feel like a lot of book readers do, and I've always had I could tell when Diana's writing him or the way Claire treats him, I don't think it's fair. Like, and I think this portrayal of Frank was exactly what I imagined it being. Like, he waited for her. And then, of course, like, yes, he raised his fist to her, but he did not hit her. And imagine, like, that emotion of what he was feeling. And then how he explained it later. Like, I had so much sympathy for Frank, much more so than I ever did, and I had sympathy going into the episode for Frank.
Yeah. I totally agree with that, and when people, because I saw some of the comments too about him hitting or like raising his fist, and Diana actually tweeted today, and I saw it, and I was like, okay, somebody questioned her about that, and she said, "You can push any man too far given enough stress." And it was the notion of he didn't hit her, but he did raise his fist, and it was out of that frustration and that anger of finally his wife is back after 2 years. And it just manifested, and he didn't. He took it out on Reverend Wakefield's, shed. Poor guy, but.
Which I have to say, Joanna Gaines would not be happy with him. The destruction of all of that good in his shed.
There's so many great antiques.
That's right.
I love that Reverend Wakefield was like, "Oh, it just needed to go to the dustbin a long time ago." Like, oh, sweet Reverend Wakefield.
What I loved about it best is we got to see scenes that were very Frank-centric, and you saw what the Reverend Wakefield said to him, and things that you could maybe imagine that went through Frank's mind, but in the books it's just so from Claire's point of view, and it's in a different time period. I don't want to spoil it for non-book people, but I think it was incredibly helpful to see things from Frank's perspective and how he was dealing with it, and for him to see Claire's reaction rather than Claire telling us how she felt, seeing how she was looking to Frank. I mean, I think it's a two-way street going back and forth, what you're really feeling versus what the person perceives you're feeling on both ends, and I think we had a good shot of that.
Kyle said that you hated him after he almost hit Claire, so I want to hear why.
Okay, here's the thing with Frank for me, is that I liked him season 1. I thought he was pretty chill. And then season 2, this episode, I started liking him more and more and more, and I did feel sympathy towards him, and I really started to feel for him. And then even past the moment where he held his fist back, I was still like, okay, I still I understand, I still kind of like you, but it wasn't until the moment that he started forcing Claire to move on. And bringing her to New York, of all places, and burning her outfit is when really that I just started being like, no, first off, you don't burn history like that, you rude son of a bitch. And then second of all, she's been she's had this traumatic moment, and she's just trying to figure out if he's alive or how he died. So just give her that moment. Let her find that out, and then after she finds out, then she'll naturally stop digging, I didn't like him at the end. So now I don't like him for taking her to New York. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think taking her across the sea, it totally ruins the idea that she could ever go back to Jamie. And that's not the point, but it's there. And it sucks.
We had a reader, or a tweeter rather, Tallulah said, "Do you get the sense that Claire was annoyed with Frank? For what it's worth, none of this was his fault." Which I kind of have to agree with. She's so bitchy, and I even tweeted about her being super hipster about oh, it's so loud here. Why is there always so many wars? We get it. You came from a really shitty situation. This is completely different, but you're here. Figure it out,
Yeah.
Claire in that moment reminded me of somebody who lived in Europe for a year or something, who comes back and is like, "Oh, you Americans and your driving."
That is perfect.
It's she seemed really the horn.
Yeah, she seemed to hate being there more so than she hated the fact that she was gone and time traveled back originally. She got used to being in the 1700s real quick, and then it's still taking her time to adjust.
Hey guys, I don't know where everything. I'm trying to be quiet because Ryan just came in and is knocking all this stuff down.
I can tell you.
I wasn't saying anything, but I have this idea that the fact that Frank was honestly almost hitting her was problematic for me. That's not something that, even when I didn't have a lot of respect for him when I read the books, I would never assume that he would go that far. And if this one ever raised his fist to me like that, it would be really hard to leave and just go be with him and be totally fine with it, especially if you had some sort of traumatic PTSD issue and all of that kind of stuff. So, what? What's that?
Sorry. My dog
Okay,
went crazy.
that scared the crap out of me. Oh my gosh.
I am so sorry. That's my dog. I had no idea he was back there. Oh my gosh.
All the surprise guests tonight.
I thought it was Blurt, like Bart, like doing noise.
Okay.
Like
I don't
that
know.
phone.
So
That made me need more scotch.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I was thinking, wait, what did you just say at the end there, Beth?
I don't even remember. But basically, like,
You said something about this one ever raised his fist.
yeah,
And then-
I would never feel okay, like, going and I would never feel comfortable. And I find, like, after she's had something so traumatic happen to her, and equating Frank a little bit with blackjack, and all, I would still feel like that I couldn't be comfortable with that particular man in my life.
Well, like, that's the
Okay,
whole
so
thing.
here's
that I
my.
was- Sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's the whole thing that I'm concerned about. Is from season 1, I was concerned about if she ever saw Frank again, how would she feel, because she's been confronted with this version of him that's just so horrible, and it's like for me, it's not believable that she would ever get over that, to the extent that his like face twin, I don't know what.
Face twin, yeah.
To the
His face twin.
his doppelganger, like, to the extent that he caused so much trouble and so much harm, I feel like she would just never be able to ever look at him the same. So it bugs me that it's been 2 weeks according to the show, or at least what I think, and I feel like 2 weeks isn't long enough for her to accept him back.
Well, here's a question I have. When he did the fist thing, was it just down at his sides, or was it up in her face? I mean, I thought it was just down at the side. Did I have that wrong?
No, it was down at the side.
Because to me, I feel like there's a difference between somebody getting a fist like right up here by my face versus, like down at the sides and just trying to keep it together.
It felt and looked more like a lunge to me.
It was like a lunge, and like a mid. It was like he was almost there. It was like almost.
I mean, he kind of cages her in her chair. It looks like he goes and cages her into her chair with a fist by his hip. But I don't care. Like, if honestly, like, if my husband or boyfriend, anyone had ever been like almost just had a fist ready, I'd be like, no, we're not.
Right.
We're not at the
Right.
point where we think that that's okay. I just
So
I'm not that it's okay, but I'm just thinking the 1948 sentimentality versus 21st century.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, I do too after that.
So I was looking at our Hangoutlander hashtag just because I'm like keeping up, and then Catherine is no, not Catherine, Claudia is all this talk about Claire and PTSD. She didn't really suffer from it on her first trip.
Right. That's what yeah. She seems to have a harder time assimilating back to like 1940 something than she did 17 something. I don't know.
She's pregnant. That's the biggest. Like, honestly, like, that's probably one of the biggest issues.
Yeah.
She's pregnant. That's everything changes, and she's aware of pregnancy and what that means. I mean, she's just, everything is totally different for her.
Yeah.
She just left him, not only like just had to leave him behind, but left him to die horribly.
Right. Yeah.
There's just a lot going on. So, I mean, I think when she first went through the stones, it's just confusion, and, she wasn't clear about where she is. Now she's got clarity, and the clarity is this absolutely 100% sucks.
Well, and I think we have to remember, like, the first half of the first season, she is trying to get back to Frank. So now that she's there, this like absolute like hatred that it seems like she has towards him is really hard to like. He didn't do anything in the meantime, and I understand that she's like questioning how he's like being so accepting of her. I have a real quick question. When he's like real excited for a second, like, I'm having a baby, like, do you think he's just an idiot? He forgets that she's been gone for 2 years, or do you think that they've had sex in these 2 weeks?
No,
It's the Immaculate Conception. I mean,
didn't he mention that when he was talking to Reverend Rakefield? He was
he
like,
explains
just for a second, I thought it was possible.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't.
Because they had sex, or because he forgot?
They had sex in their married life. Maybe it was like the 2 years.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
Maybe it was just like a,
So we're not
got
thinking that
stored somewhere,
PTSD
and then
Claire
during her
had
trip,
sex.
it like fell into her like uterus and then pregnant.
We're not
I think that
thinking
there's
I don't know how these parts work, so maybe.
I think that there's the part of Frank who has been imagining the fact that he was going to have a family with Claire for years, has probably imagined Claire saying to him, "I'm pregnant," many, 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 many times. And so hearing those words from her in a bedroom, which is just like the last time they were together, I think it's just, like you said, it was almost hallucinatory. And it was like, oh my gosh. And then obviously it's only for a split second.
Well, it's not like they found time to do it.
No, not at all.
While she's recovering.
You know, and Claire also picks, what, like midnight to start this, like, 7-hour conversation? I mean, in fairness, the man has been up for hours, so.
On the opposite side, Heidi tweets, for all intents and purposes, Claire's soulmate died like 2 days before.
Yeah.
Frank needs to chill. But also, Frank doesn't really know anything about Jamie, so
and
there's
that's
that
the
side about it, too.
And there's, like, these two things. Frank's in shock. So when you're in shock, your mind doesn't tend to be coherent. You're not having valid thoughts. So you go through this thought process, and so yeah. So, and then there's Claire, who did lose the man of her, the love of her life, and so she's not clear either. So
it's interesting to me because as a just non-book reader, we never saw her, or I feel like I never saw Claire in love with Frank. Not in season 1, not now. Like, I never saw her love him the way that she loves Jamie. And so it just, to me, it feels like she just doesn't love him at all, and she never really has. Maybe she has, but the fact that I haven't seen that.
Why do you think that?
Because they were so awkward on the first episode. They were so awkward, and like they were together, and like she was like, it felt like magnets repelling each other instead of attracting. Like they're trying to like get together, but there's just something in between them, and so having I don't know, like freaking like 8 over 11, 12, 14 episodes, I don't know how many.
Yeah.
Where you see Jamie and her interact.
33.
Yeah, it's just like, how am I supposed to know that she ever loved him, really?
Yeah. And that's the same feeling you get when you read the book.
I think we see that too, especially when we switch back to the 1700s. There's such a different dynamic between them. I was watching it again today in the background, and I looked up just as Claire and Jamie were coming together. That sounded weird. He had grabbed her hand and was pulling her to him, and they had such different faces on. It was like, it literally even looked like, not to sound like a shipper or a stan, but I was like, oh, it looks like real. Like, I've seen that. I've given that face.
I totally agree. This, more so than anything we've seen before, felt real.
Yeah. Immediately,
like, so comfortable.
Katrina's face was totally different. Their body language was different. They were cuddling the whole time. And it's, she's in the exact same position, getting off a barge, holding hands with her husband, but it's a totally different experience. And that was good writing and good acting and not good editing, because the transition was bananas. I hated it. And people loved it, and I hated it. And
I didn't like it. It was too jarring. You're like, what? What just happened?
It was lengthy. It could have been better. Yeah.
Yeah.
It should have been immediate.
The hands, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love the hand.
I'll demonstrate it.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should have been like
long?
that. It should have been so much quicker.
She should have put her hand into Frank's hand and then immediately pan up, and it's Jamie's face.
Bingo. Yeah, exactly. Totally
And
agree.
the thing is, I heard they wrote in our comments that Ron said that the Starz execs, he had changed it. He was going to have Frank and Claire driving down in a car, and then you were going to see Jamie and Claire on a boat, which is totally worse. But a Starz exec was like, you need to do better. And he was like, okay. So he did better, but then whoever edited it or whatever, it's awful.
It was really weird, because when you see Frank's hand first, and it looked like the painting, like on the top of the Vatican building.
The Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, yeah, that.
Yes, it totally does.
and it looked like that. I was like, what the heck is going on? Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's terrible.
My favorite comment of the night so far is in our private little chat in this conversation, where Julie Perino says, "My dog is on my bed trying to eat the damn shortbread."
I'm so sorry. If you see me going like this or going like this, he is like digging. I put it in the box. She is literally in the box right now. Like her face is in it. I'm like,
Oh my God.
people at Walker's, thank you so much because I enjoyed it, and so did she.
Oh,
Baby.
Just bring your pet to
bread
work day here on
and
Outlander.
What,
Doesn't
Kyle?
work. Bread and scotch?
Don't-
No mixy.
No, not shortbread and scotch. Doesn't make it go down any easier.
You don't want to dip it like a biscotti?
I tried that already. It didn't work.
Oh no.
Oh gosh. All right, well let's get into Jamie and Claire. Now that they're in France, and we see Jamie again, and we're happy because he looks good, and the colors are different, and his hair doesn't look quite as bad. Claire's plan, this whole Culloden thing, I never realized when I was reading the books how super ill-advised this plan is, like how dumb it is. And the fact that Jamie's kind of coming up with something pretty smart, like shouldn't we just be trying to win the war? And she's like, but I don't have the tactics. Well, you don't know who the Jacobite supporters are either. How do you think you're going to infiltrate the French court? And if you can infiltrate the French court, why not go to England, infiltrate their court, and get them to not fight the Scottish? She's like, has these delusions of grandeur, and she's telling Jamie it's going to be fine. He's like, I'm pretty sure, bitch, it ain't gonna be fine. And we just like go with it. It's so dumb. It's the worst plan ever.
Yeah. It becomes like one of those like let's kill Hitler plots. You know, one of those classics. Go back in time and let's kill Hitler. And it's just like, fine, if I do that, what else is now set in motion because of it? I completely agree.
I want to see the rest of the world outside of just the hospital and the cottage where Claire stayed at, and the little bit of New York that we saw. Because how do I know that they didn't screw things up with all the crappy stuff that they did? Like, I mean, like it's a good sign that like nothing has changed. And when she asked the guy like who won the war, and he was like what, and then it was the same result. So that's a good sign, but also it sucks for her. But like I just don't want the future to change because she's so stupid.
Right, and I agree with that. Like Beth, like you said, like you read the books, you didn't really realize how ill-advised she was. I was thinking about this the other day, preparing for this mentally in my head, and I was like, you know what? That was really stupid of her. She's a highly educated woman. You know, you can't go and just change the complete past, and one person is not going to be like, well, you know, this huge war. That's me, like me going back and be like, I think I'm going to change World War II right now. Let's do this. You know, there's just so many. It's not for me looking at it. It's like, be smarter, Claire, just a little.
Yeah.
So.
And I really wanted Jamie to, like, for some reason I thought maybe they'll change the whole scope of the show and the way the books go, and Jamie's just going to convince her this is a terrible plan. I wanted him to be so much smarter than her in that minute, and he let her, like lead him around by the nose instead. And I was like, dang it. This plan is terrible. I didn't want it to go through.
Yeah, I think that's partly why I thought it was too, like, we're getting into these, like, technically things that just aren't fun and entertaining. I'm watching a TV show, and, like, give me history, give me beautiful costumes, and give me, like, teach me about, I knew nothing about Culloden and the Scottish culture. I didn't before I read these books. I don't know if that's just, I forgot, and maybe I did learn. Is that something, as Americans, we actually learned?
No.
Yeah, unless you took it from AP
over.
European class or something. I don't know that even that was like World War II class.
I thought when I was a kid that every person in Scotland was named Scott. That was like me.
American education system right here. Right. So I'm so glad that what this book has brought me into, and I love learning about the culture and everything now, but like we're getting into some deep crap that just slows it down for me. It really does. And like, did we need the smallpox? I know why we needed to set that up, but did it need to be, was that a 10-minute long sequence?
At least.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The reason was so we could meet the comb, however the hell you say his name, and that's what Brenda wants to talk about on Twitter. So
all right, let's do it, Brenda.
Let's do it. I mean, Claire dives right into some trouble. It's ridiculous. Why?
Like, seriously.
Jamie is calling her name and running after her, and she's like, fuck you, and she just keeps going, like, because some dude has some zits.
Well, she's just like,
but that is
like, oh, someone's sick, I'm going to help. Like, you need to lay low because you're about to try to change the future. Like, maybe just that's not your thing to worry about right now.
But that is like Claire's sort of classic thing. It's like, oh, person in need, screw the consequences, I will dive in and medically save them. Like,
does she forget when she was just on trial for being a witch? Like, does she
Right.
literally forget that
Right.
just happened?
Yeah, I know. But like even in the books, like she has the world's slowest learning curve with stuff like that. You
Well,
know?
like Jamie told her specifically, like, this is not your time. I remember him like, sometimes you're gonna have to listen to me because
Right.
this isn't your time. And she's not listening at all. She literally runs away from him. He's like, Claire, don't do it. She does it anyway.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Oh gosh, so stupid.
Can
But-
someone clarify what the plan is? Because it's very confusing. Because
The plan for what they're gonna do in France.
yeah, they want to infiltrate someone.
Okay.
Not like that, but
Bonnie Prince. No, they want to infiltrate. Bonnie Prince Charlie is the prince whose dad used to be the King of England, or the King of Scotland, or something. Anyway,
Oh.
he's the rightful king of. He's James, right?
He would be the king of both. Yes, he would
Yes.
rightfully be the king of both England and Scotland.
Oh, it would
And
be both. Okay.
he's not right now. All right. So what happens is he's in exile in Italy. Bonnie Prince Charlie is in France, and his dad has already led a rebellion that failed, and so he is going to lead a rebellion back in Scotland in the 1745 or 6, and try to get the English out so that he can have the throne again, right? So he's in France trying to, like, his cousins that are there and everybody else that's there, to get money for him to go start this rebellion in Scotland. Jamie and Claire are going to infiltrate the Jacobites. Jacobites are people who want Bonnie Prince Charlie and his dad to be back on the throne. They're going to infiltrate that group of people, figure out how they're getting their money, figure out what their plans are, and try to stop those plans from happening. Try to stop that money from getting to them, try to stop them from making friends, try to stop Bonnie Prince Charlie from being able to go back to Scotland. That's their plan.
got it. Okay, thank you.
And-
Appreciate it.
And you can do, it's not spoilers because it's history. This is actually in history. That is a real thing. Not that there was a woman named Claire and Jamie that tried to stop it, but Bonnie Prince Charlie, this is a real legitimate thing, and he brought a rebellion to Scotland, and as she says, what happens, basically most of the Scottish people and the clans were wiped out at Culloden. So they want to prevent that from happening. That's the big ultimate goal, is to prevent Culloden from happening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
And they
Sorry,
think that
thank
by using the wine business through the cousin, that they can get into those circles to establish clout and prestige and influence.
Because
So-
every good party needs wine.
Heck yeah, it does. And Becca, I have to disagree with you because I think there's some fans who think that Claire and Jamie are completely real, and they look back in history
Oh my
books for them.
I
They
apologize.
scour the Scottish Highlands for their gravestones, and
Those are the same people
Looking
that
through
believe
the annals
Jack
of
and Rose
history.
on the Titanic.
What,
Those are the
Kyle?
same people.
Say
I said those are the same people
what?
that believe Jack and Rose were alive on the
Right.
Titanic.
remember when someone found like an actual gravestone that said Jack Dawson on it, and it was when the internet was still like first around and people like blew up.
Mhm.
Anna Chuchula wants to know, can we talk about Jamie's recovery? There was a whole lot of grunting and then an immediate change of topic. So I do want to talk about this because Jamie gets off that boat and he's been seasick because he hates boats. He's been raped recently. He's still like getting over everything that's happened, and he's trying to lay down. He's like, "Ooh, yay, a bed that doesn't move." And Claire's like, "But wait a minute, let's get snappy. Let's make some machinations happen." And I would have enjoyed seeing the end of this episode be more about the strain of their marriage, and maybe like Jamie coming to grips with how he's feeling and his trauma, even like if it's physically, and they just kind of glossed right over it and went on into the Kant and everything that's going on with the smallpox. And I was more interested in their personal stuff that they didn't talk about at all.
Yeah.
I
would've
skipped
been- yeah.
all that stuff in the book, so that's probably why they got over it. I don't really care about what happened, but I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one.
You don't care about their like how they're feeling?
No, I mean there's a lot going on. Like it seemed like in the books she spent chapters and chapters in that abbey and convalescing and everyone's feeling better, and I was like, don't have time to listen to the abbey architecture and the herbs and stuff.
No, I mean more like their personal, like their interactions. Like we're watching everything that you read about Outlander is about sex. There's no sex in this episode. They're not even close to having sex in this episode.
Not according to Vulture.
Yeah,
I know, right? That was hilarious.
And like he goes to kiss her, and instead he kisses her hand. But then like later on, they're making out on the dock, and I'm like, y'all stand physically. I mean, is there anything happening? Are we going down on each other? What's going on?
Oh my God.
Maybe he's afraid to poke the baby in the face.
That's where you get dimples.
Oh God.
He was busy.
But, yeah, I mean, even if he didn't get the sex, though, I loved the whole part where they were going back and forth. I don't speak French, so I don't know what quality it is. It certainly sounded like Katrina knew what she was doing. I don't know about Sam there. But I felt like that was like a very intense moment of their relationship as they were going back and forth and arguing with Saint-Germain, and she was saying what she was saying, and then he was defending her. I felt like that was a tight section, even though I don't speak French and I have no idea if it was horrific or really good, but it sounded good to me.
Well, according to one of the people who tweeted us, Jamie's French was terrible.
Yeah.
And but I was in love. I was like, oh.
I don't think his French would necessarily be really good. I mean,
yeah,
he lived in France, but that's why he knows it. That doesn't mean it's going to be good French. Like, it shouldn't be really good.
I mean, he knows 3 languages, for Christ's sake. Like,
yeah.
Jeez.
Yep.
I'm impressed. I'm really impressed.
Especially for then. I mean, we're talking about people who think that,
it's not like he had Rosetta Stone.
A witch. Right, exactly.
He didn't have, he didn't Lingo on his phone. He had to learn French by going to France, making out with a couple of hookers. Yeah. That's how he learned it. So, speaking of impressed, we do need to talk about Stanley Weber. Heidi wanted us to quit talking about history and specifically start talking about
sorry, Heidi. Sorry, Heidi.
When that man spoke French and stared at Claire, it was like either he's going to fight her or make out with her, and either way, it's going to be beautiful and magical.
It's going to be wonderful. I really wanted to see what was under the powdered wig, real bad.
Same.
Oh, real bad.
It's so easy to look ridiculous in a costume like that. Like, if you don't really commit to that scene, you look like the world's biggest moron. And he just looked really threatening right away, which was awesome.
Very attractive.
Threatening. He looked attractive. He looked disdainful. He looked
all of it.
Perfect.
I wanted him to arrest me and then use the handcuffs or something else.
Like last season, I'm thinking, what was it? Sandringham was almost the only person we saw in the full week. Did we have anybody else other than really Sandringham that was in that full, very artificially powdery rig? And Sandringham kind of just looked like a big doofus.
Well, last season, the only other person that I can liken to this guy was the British officer who tried to save Claire in the small town at the beginning of season 1.
Yeah.
And I was like, I drew major parallels between them, except this guy wants to kill her and the other guy wanted to save her.
Mm.
But they're both equally hot, is what I'm trying to say.
The young guy, the young officer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
No. He had that blotchy cheek thing going on, which is so twinky. But I really, really, really thought that he was a perfect villain for that moment. I'm glad that they did that scene, but I could have used it at the beginning of the next episode.
It was so obvious that they were setting something major up. It was like hitting you on the head with the fact that, all right, watch out for this guy. Now he has a major reason to hate you. Mm-hmm. And then they had to go and state it. We made an enemy today. No, duh. Obviously.
Yeah. You know what was cool though too? He wasn't overtly physical. It was just I am so powerful, I don't need to really shake my cane at you. It was just he just exuded threatening from the second he was on there, and you were like, okay, you are it's a serious business.
If I'm ever going to be threatened, I want to be threatened in French by Stanley Weber. That's my new goal in life.
Did you guys see that Outlander, the picture that they posted of him and the guy that plays Prince Charlie? Prince Bonnie, Charlie, Bonnie, Charlie, Prince, whatever the hell. Tonight, I think it was today, or Instagrammed or something. It's very nice, very nice.
Is it an actual?
Call that up on your.
Is it a picture of them in costume?
No, that's not very nice. No, it's IRL picture. These gentlemen. I'll find it. I'll retweet that.
Oh,
What-
it's beautiful.
What I want to know is Stanley Weber going to come to Comic-Con? That's what I need to know.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the
seriously,
important
right?
question.
Please God, I've never asked for anything so hard
Fingers
in my
crossed.
I can't remember now. Is Stanley Weber? I mean, his name doesn't sound very French. Is he actually French or is he British?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think he's French.
Okay.
No, I did my research. Yes, he is. I'm now, I'm a Weberite. I'm Webster's Dictionary, whatever. Oh, I just came up with a fandom.
Webster's Dictionary.
Oh,
He's French, all right. Yeah, he is. You're welcome,
I'm so
everybody.
glad I'm not the thirstiest one here.
No, you're not.
Mm.
It's perfectly fine.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. There is some Heidi on Twitter. Stanley Weber could wear a live ferret on his head and still be hotter than anyone else on this show.
I'm glad Stanley can bring the fandom together. Like, I've literally seen no one say, oh, I hate him, or he's the worst. Everyone's like, do me, Stanley.
Stanley. Sam has torn the fandom apart. Stanley brought them back together.
It's amazing that we can still be attracted to him in the powdered wig when we can't even bear Sam right now, like with a weave. We're like, no! Not your hair! Oh, Stanley Weber can wear a powdered wig. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine.
earring on Tobias is killing us.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, guys, it's Outlander's. It's their Instagram from 4 hours ago, and you're not gonna be able to see this, but let's look at them. They're like in a bar. It's all black and white. Just go take a
wow.
look. Go take a look.
Somebody's working the filters on Instagram.
Yeah, some beards.
They're
Filter.
drinking beer.
Here's the best idea ever from Twitter. Lindsay says, hey, we need Tobias and Stanley in every scene, please. Okay.
Okay,
I mean, I'm in charge.
put them
so-
together.
Okay. That's perfectly fine. I don't think we're going to get either one of them a whole lot. I mean,
Mm-mm.
No.
that sucks.
No. Damn it.
I told my kids to stay in bed, and one of them lost a tooth tonight.
In bed?
Lost a tooth. Like, they're just, like, standing at the... Stay over there. They're standing at the stairs, like, lost a tooth. Can I talk to you? And I'm like, I'm fine.
Yo, Nikki, and Kyle, 1 day ago, Stanley Weber posted a picture from Venice Beach. And on that, guys.
Not for
You're there.
there are people tweeting Weberites right now like crazy. Julie,
I know.
you created something, sweetie.
Take that, hooligans! Yeah. Oh.
Any chance we get to say, take that, hooligans, we're taking it. We're all over it.
Patriot Nation never stood a chance.
All right. So what do we anticipate for next week? Pretend we haven't seen it. So everybody say what you hope.
I actually haven't watched it yet, so
What are we anticipating?
I don't remember I've ignored all. We're in like this major group chat of our whole Outlander team, and they've been talking about all the episodes that are available for us so far. And I'm like, guys, I haven't watched it yet. I probably won't watch it till Saturday. I'll watch it live. I don't think we're going back yet. I don't know. Are we going back and forth? Do we know this at all? Or is this like one time into the 40s? No, this is okay. We're supposed to guess. I'm gonna say we're gonna be completely in France. Oh, I already know. I already know what happens. Just kidding.
Okay.
Ignore me.
I just want.
I hear
I
it's
want.
crazy.
Yeah, I want Paris. I mean, we've had France. Now I want Paris.
Was this not Paris? This isn't like the docks of Paris.
No, this was Le Havre.
However one says
That
that.
sounds-
Yeah, I want.
sounds
I
good. I am
want
French.
like legit like Paris of the 18th century.
Yeah. I just thought it was like down by the docks in Paris. So they even have docks. I don't know.
I was to say it's
Paris.
yeah, it's the
Inland.
river. It's the River Seine. It's not that wide.
Okay, got it.
Oh, gosh.
I think we're
Julie,
going to get...
you've watched it.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot more illogical ideas from Claire. It's kind of
Good.
like Claire, and it's like, come on, Scoobs, let's do this. Let's stop the rebellion. Okay, you know.
I have to say, I don't care. Like, I know what happens, but what I want, and I'm not normally like this, but I really want the show to have more sex. Like, than it did this week, the last 2 episodes of season 1. I mean, it keeps being talked about that it's like this great sexual revolution show, and it's not. There's not enough sex.
They haven't
need
had
that
sex
sex
in
more.
like a year and a half. Like,
I know, right?
That's way too long.
Yeah.
Wasn't the last time they had sex? Wasn't the last time they had sex? Sorry, there's like kids outside or out my door. So I'm just like, wasn't the last time they had sex when he like, you know, they're on the fire and he's like, oh, she's like, let me help you, and he's like, no.
Show me that
Claire.
finger move again. Just do the fingers a little bit more. How do they go? Is this? I think that might be the last sex scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
last
don't
one
they?
we saw.
Wait, is that after the rape?
No, that was after her trial. So
Didn't she force him to have sex
No.
after the
When
rape, or is that just in the books?
in the books.
Yeah, they didn't do
that
that.
doesn't happen in the movies. Oh.
But like, they don't have any sex at Lallybrook. That was kind of like when they should have had some sex at Lallybrook, and they did.
I want them to learn about freaky French sex and then try to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to see some craziness and then incorporate it into their repertoire.
But most importantly, I need a gay person on the show. I mean, like, they tempted me last season with the whole like gay scene that was like very like hard to watch, but I felt really bad enjoying it, and I just want a gay scene that I enjoy watching for fun.
Okay.
Not I don't want to cringe, you know?
There you go.
Yeah.
Nobody wants, even that's not even the positive one.
Yeah. All right. So next week we'll be back. So let's hear who won our shortbread giveaway.
Our shortbread giveaway winner of the lovely Walker shortbread is Joanna Kuhn. Won because Stanley Weber liked your tweet. And so, he's got to give you.
Wow.
He liked the tweet that she had tagged Hangoutlander on.
I don't know.
I'm definitely.
No, she thought he liked something about Brunchland or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Awesome.
I was like
Brunchlander.
definitely afraid that he was like watching us like geek
I
out.
better be watching.
About his
He's in Venice Beach just doing nothing right now. Good job.
Come on over, buddy.
Yeah, Stanley, if you want to have some coffee, hit me up. We'll chat about the season. It'll be fun.
You can get you passes to Disneyland, maybe.
Yeah, I'll get you into Disneyland for free. It'd be fun. Minnie will say hey.
Joanna, please send us an email if you're still watching. Otherwise, you'll see it on Twitter. But please send us an email so we can get your address. And thank you to Walkers at Shortbread. That's awesome, Nikki. I saw you tagging them. Their actual Twitter handle is at Shortbread. They've been around that long.
Did they just create one?
Shortbread.
They invented the game.
That is some OG
Really?
Twitter users right there.
They have been around since the very beginning.
Yes.
I
still hate the girl that has at Beth.
Huh.
What, Laura?
I went to go find their Twitter the other day, and it wasn't on their website. I was like, how do you not have a Twitter account? Okay, so it's just
At
at Shortbread.
At Shortbread? That's
Yeah.
amazing.
They have at Shortbread. They don't have to put it on their.
But they do, and they do it well.
There you go. Shortbread. Boom.
Bella.
Put some Nutella on this, guys, if I have some.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's really good.
If you want to go next level.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just dip it in some Duers.
Doers.
No, don't do that.
Do one more drink. One more drink.
Let's do it again.
Right now.
Oh, you
Finished
finished
it.
it.
It's gone.
Don't worry,
just,
he shorts
you know.
out his computer. He works for Apple Care. He'll fix
I
it.
feel very good right now.
I bet.
I bet you do. Ugh,
Just
with
a
little
swig out of
sour
the
belly.
bottle.
All right,
Swig out of
guys.
the bottle.
Next
All right.
week, take it out of the
Hold on.
bottle.
Yeah, we're doing it swig out of the bottle.
Oh, God.
It looks so awful.
Somebody needs to screen cap that baby. That's the gift right there.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Shortbread, hurry.
Okay.
I have a video. It's cool.
Oh, good. We need to replay that a couple dozen times.
All right, Beth, get us on next week.
Next week, the episode is called Not in Scotland Anymore. It's a terrible title, but hopefully it'll be all about France. And we'll be back. Same time, same exact place. Check us out at Hangoutlander. It'll be 202. And we have special guests with us next week. Will be the girls from My Outlander Purgatory. Tracy Carroll will be joining us. We're really, really, really excited. Those girls are some of our favorites. They're going to be hilarious, and we're going to be chatting about episode 2 with them. So join us next week. In the meantime, enjoy the episode on Saturday. Check out Hypable's articles and recaps about the episode. Check out our top 10 on Saturday night. It'll be live right after the episode. Check those out. And then join us on Monday night at 10. We love you guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Good night.
Good night. Have a good night.